You think Wuthering and Zenless is declining? Yes. I think every gacha game is on the decline right now except Genshin Impact. And I know like the whole Twitter thing is going on, so everyone's like, oh, Genshin bad, whatever, da 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 da. No number on the current face of the internet displays Genshin declining. But we can, like I said, we can talk about it here. No, Logan, I saw them. I was right behind Moon whenever it happened. I saw your Siren pulls, bro. I saw them. I didn't like that either. HSR is in a fine spot right now, but it's not growing in the same way. I guess we'll talk about that. So before I jump into that though, because I did say it, Mao, let me go ahead and talk about my experience. So guys, bear with me. I'm gonna talk about the DreamHack experience just for a brief period of time, and then we'll jump into the gacha game thing that I have like listed up, okay? DreamHack was cool. I think my main thing with DreamHack was, and this is like something that I don't think everyone understands unless you've been in this experience. So two things, right? One, I'm gonna speak from a creator perspective for the majority of what I talk about here. And then two, I'm also gonna talk about this from the state that I don't think other creators will experience if all they do is consume gacha content, right? Like if their primary source of media and creativity and like what you're into is gacha games, you probably won't understand what I'm talking about. What ended up happening when I went to DreamHack was I went there, I knew what I was going into. I know that DreamHack is predominantly two things. The Dallas DreamHack is mostly for fighting games, tournaments and whatnot, but the Atlanta DreamHack is, it feels like it's for creators who happen to be more of the FPS variety, even to an extent like general gaming. When I went there were a lot of Black creatives there. A lot. That was a good thing. Being Black and then being around a lot of other Black people, it's always like a 50-50. You never really know, right? Like whether or not you can feel included. Now, it wasn't that I couldn't feel included because of, you know, obviously the color of my skin. And yeah, it is Atlanta, but I didn't think of it that way, right? More so what I was looking at was the type of content creators that were there. So me being a gacha creator, there's only so much, right? So much room that I have, so much notoriety that I would have as long as it's within the gacha space. The other type of content creators that were there, they're doing everything. They're doing variety, they're doing shorts, they're live streaming, they're making collabs together, they're a part of the Twitch Black Unity Guild, a lot of things going on. XQC was there, right? Kick streamers were there. And so I learned more about streaming in the space that it was in as a whole compared to like gacha, and it really opened my eyes. I already see a lot now. Again, we'll talk about that, right? With the gachas on the decline and like content and stuff like that. I see a lot now. I observe a lot. I'm always behind the scenes looking at stuff, especially when it comes to the number of things. I feel like a few other creators do the same thing, but for the most part, like that's where my brain space is. I love studying content. Now, looking at the difference between the gacha space as far as content goes and everything else minus politics, it's such a drastic comparison. Really big eye opener. None of what we experience online, and I don't even mean like what you deal with online, right? Like, oh man, this person bullied me. Like, I don't mean that. I mean legit the type of content that we create or endorse or watch or consume in the gacha space. None of that exists in the real world. And it's really weird to say that. It's super weird to say that because the way that it's coming out right now makes it sound like it's fake. It's only online, whatever. But, and it really is only online. When you step out, if you go to these conventions, you see a lot of cosplay. Dude, I took a picture with a Billy, a Black Billy, by the way, really good cosplay. Tons of like Genshin people were there cosplaying, a few Wuthering were there, Starrel was there, like a lot of cosplay for gacha games was there. People that play gacha games are there, but a couple things. No animosity, no vitriol in the scene at all, no space, right? Anyone that played gacha games, no one was, oh my God, I can't believe, how dare you walk around here in a Yae Miko cosplay knowing that you see me over here in a Changli, you know Changli's better, right? None of that existed. You had people walking, Wuthering was walking with Genshin, Genshin's walking with Star. None of this fucking tribalistic bullshit exists. It's not real. And so as a creator, the first guy that walked up to me, and I saw him the night before, he saw me the night before, but I don't think he recognized me, but I didn't know that he recognized me. And he didn't know, like, he wasn't sure that I was the person he thought I was. The first guy that walked up to me, he just starts talking just about whatever. And then he says, you know, this might be weird, but like, are you that Black guy that makes like Zenless content? And you know, for me, that's a highlight. Okay, let me explain why, because not everybody won't understand why that's a highlight, right? Because like, oh, you always pull out the race card. Only other people in ethnic groups, especially black, understand why that is such a highlight. Anyone that's not in an ethnic group or isn't black or is just, there's a word, anyone that's not in a minority, you don't understand why that's a big thing. So the guy says, hey, aren't you that black guy that makes Zenless content? Now, me having the experience that I've had in the gacha space, this is about to go one of two ways. He's about to say some really nasty shit, and I'm gonna punch him in the throat. Like, it's gonna be that, because we're not online. There's no keyboard, there's no monitor to protect you from saying like disgusting things. And the only consequence I would have is getting kicked out of this event that I may or may not give a fuck about. The other thing would be he's going to acknowledge who I am, and like, this is gonna be a fan interaction. It was a fan interaction. And no one said anything negative. That's the thing, right? He's like, yo, aren't you the black guy that makes Zenless content? I'm like, yeah, that, you know, and I said, it depends on who's asking. Because again, right, one of two options. So he goes on to say, no, I think it is you, because I only watch like 3, and there's only like so many of you guys, right? And he says, you make content like helping people, like getting better at the game, and like you show them their options, like a fighting game, right? And I said, yeah. And he looks at my badge, it says Yoku. He says, it is you. And I said, it's me. Like, you know, hey, it's very rare that I have this type of interaction with anybody before, right? And he goes, hey, and he starts yapping. And it's a very normal conversation back and forth, right? But he's just going on to explain that, you know, as he's also black, by the way, as a black guy, he's talking about why for him seeing someone in the space like that is so good. But he also said one of the key reasons why he supports me, he watches Soul, he watches Kate, he supports us, right? But he watches me the most. And this isn't like shade to anybody else. He was just saying these things. He's like, I watch you the most because I like the way you speak. I like what you introduce, and, you know, like glazing. Cool. I love this. He goes on to say the reason that he don't even play the games anymore. He said he used to play Zenless. He stopped playing Zenless. He doesn't play Genshin anymore, Star, none of that, because he just feels like Hoyo as a company doesn't represent black people the way that he would like. And he's totally valid to feel that way. You know what he doesn't do? He's not online. He's not fucking attacking Hoyo. And he's still like, hey, if Hoyo pays me, if someone else pays me, if my chat pays me, I'll play the game. I don't hate Hoyo. I don't hate these games. I'm just not giving them my money anymore for X, Y, and Z reason. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's how normal people should behave. I check my wristwatch that doesn't exist. And then I say, oh, that's right. I am currently in the real world. I'm not on Twitter. It was a great experience. Another guy, I'm at the fighting game venue now. Okay, guys, I'm actively watching Rihu and his brother and Draco play Tekken. Me, Moon, and a bunch of Uni, Pintrap, like a bunch of my friends just hanging out. They have their girlfriends, right? We're all just chilling. I walk off just like 2 steps away to go grab some water or something like that. And a guy stops me. He goes, hey, I love your content. Thank you. Like, thank you for doing what you do. And I turn around and literally my face is like, who the fuck are you talking to me? Like, you got the wrong guy, man. Like, chill it out, bro. Okay, I know I hang out with Afro and all of them, but I'm not Afro. And he goes, no, you're EO. Like, I know who you are. I'm not tripping. Like, I watch your shit. And you can tell even now, lit up, guys. I'm just like, me? Me? Like, that's crazy. And the feeling that you get for having that is just, it's something else. It's something else, bro. I geeked, bro. You know, I walked off and I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, niggas really fuck with me. That's crazy. And I gotta emphasize niggas, right? Black people. But they, wow. As I walk off, another guy, not black, speaks up. Yo, you make Zenless content, right? I do. Oh, dude, I love Zenless. It's such a great game, man. Whatever. I got into it because blah, 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 blah. You made that video about fighting games, right? That's how I found out about Zenless. Blah, 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 blah. Me? It was cool. So the whole weekend, just sporadically, randomly people would recognize who I am. They would just speak up. And yo, Mark, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking because of the way that the space is online, I'm just not with. And that's just not true. And so it really did, it brought more reality to the scenario. Now, y'all hear me say this all the time. I say a lot of what happens online isn't real. Like, Twitter is not a real place. It doesn't exist in the real world. But this is why I said earlier, that separation between the gacha space and like everything else, okay, minus politics, the gacha space and everything else, it's such a drastic difference. It's almost night and day. And now I'm even more incentivized to say it when I say it, like the gacha space is toxic as f. Moving past that point, or rather not harping on that point, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because these guys live online. They're not going to events. They're not meeting people IRL. They're not touching grass, if you want to use that term. A lot of them dwell online. They hang out in these borderline cults, and their intention is to cause as much distress and grief as possible. That space is so distant from everything else, number one, and two, the actual IRL gacha space. And one of the things that I want to point out, even if there was somebody at DreamHack that had beef with me, did not fuck with me, whatever, I say the same shit all the time. If you see me in public, you have an ample opportunity to walk up and say whatever you said to me in person in my face. No one ever does this. This isn't an open invite for me to like start fights. This goes out for everyone. Everyone talking shit online, right? You talk shit to somebody else. Hey, you see that person in person? Go say what you said online in their face. No one ever does it, right? It's a huge keyboard warrior. Everyone's like in that space is in like this online echo chamber, and then they'll hear what I'm saying right now, and the first thing they do is immediately quote tweet, clip, get on Twitter, get in their Discord, whatever. Oh man, this guy thinks he's tough shit, blah, 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 blah. If I ever saw him in real life, I'd fucking pile drive him into the cement. Do it then. I'll even send you my address. Come pile drive me into the, right? Like, because they're not gonna do it. So going back to my closing thought there and rounding out the gacha, because I don't want to harp on the gacha. It's such a surreal experience to witness that. Most of the events that I go to, guys, are fighting game related or Pokemon related. So like, I don't expect anybody to know me, right? They do, obviously, but I don't expect anybody to know that or know me. Nix, if you wanted, yeah, why didn't you say nothing? If you wanted to run me over, bro, you know, it was right there. I was right there. You could have ran me over, you know? Guys, I met Nix in person. By the way. That was a moment, you know, but it was cool. I appreciated it. It was nice. Again, this is Nix. I know he doesn't value things the same way, but I valued that. It was cool. Overall, like content wise, I want a new direction. I've learned, bro, that's not my son. That's not. But to be fair, I can't deny it, man. Like Hentrap does share some similarities to me, and it's having that pointed out and then now recognizing that is like crazy. Content change real quick before I lose my train of thought. So for those of you guys that are already here in the Twitch stream, because I haven't started up YouTube yet, this is exclusive for you guys. I'm going to be doing more than just gacha. I've realized that I don't think that I'm supposed to only do gacha. Two, from everyone that I spoke to over the weekend and like the conversations that I had now that I've gotten back, there's so much more to, I guess, my potential, if you will. Potential, man. Anyway, basically the short version of this is gacha games or gacha content squander where I could be. They squander my ability to go where I want to go as a creator. And I want to alter that. Now, there are a couple different ways that I'm going to go about this. You guys are going to see a lot more short form content. You're going to see a lot more streams. I'm going to try and be a lot more consistent, get myself on a schedule, and I'm going to take it easy. But I'm going to put in work. What I mean by that is you'll see more streams from me. You might see less videos, or a better way to say that, you might see more yapping videos get uploaded to the channel. I might start reacting more to things. The quality of the video won't be as high as I normally put out. Why would I do that, right? What's the reason for that? The reason for that is simply because of the fact that the amount of work it takes for me to script the video, plan the video, test the characters, do whatever, and then send it off to the editor and like receive it back, get it approved if it's a CS per video, and then put that information out there. I'm only able to put out 3 videos a week, maybe 4. I don't stream enough to have consistent yap content as it is. And because, to be honest, my unfiltered way of yapping has gotten me into trouble in the past. I would rather not deal with that. I'm not opposed to it anymore because like a big chunk of me, especially after the whole IRL stuff, I just kind of stopped caring. We're really getting mad about somebody else's opinion. Who gives a f? You know, there's the that thing going on Twitter. Some of you guys saw that with the game Wuthering and the depth and Genshin and whatever. I've been saying that Wuthering doesn't have the same depth that people keep trying to claim that it does. I've been saying this shit since fucking CBT 3. My opinion on that is not changing. I'm right. I'm right. Like it is what it is. Okay. But I am way more open to having these conversations, like if the conversation is to be had. what I don't like and what you won't see me doing is just ragging on something just to rag on it. Even my tweet, I didn't rag on Wuthering, I praised it. As I mentioned, everyone doesn't have the capacity, which for those that didn't understand what that means, there was a lot of tweets that were like trying to mock that. Oh, you don't have the capacity. It means that you either A, you're not mature enough to have the conversation, B, you're not intelligent enough to have the conversation, or C, you're just a 14-year-old idiot. You can pick whichever option you want. I don't care. I legit don't care. Some people are able to have these conversations and like, I'm totally able to just like speak. And that's what I want. I like having differences with others, creators or viewers, doesn't matter, because the whole point of me having these conversations, discussions is to get to the end game, not end game of the actual like game, right? But end game of like what's going on. So if we're talking about the depth in a fighting game, the depth in Wuthering, the depth in Genshin, the depth in Dark Souls, Pokemon, whatever, the whole intent is for us to come to a middle ground and then move forward from there, figure it the fuck out. I don't care if you agree or disagree. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the disingenuous behavior that happens from these discussions. What a lot of people want to do is they want to argue. I don't really give a fuck about arguing. What a lot of people want to do is argue. I don't want to argue anymore. Like, I like arguing to a degree, but not when it's like it doesn't fucking matter. So it is what it is. Moving forward, you're gonna see more content. I might just start talking. And to be fair, frick Smack, but at the same time, shout out to Smack. Smack told me to do this shit a year ago. He was like, brother, you just gotta start like you're very, very eloquent when you speak about the things that you want to talk about. Like, you know what you're talking about, you know how to say it. And if people don't like how you say it, fuck them. But he told me to just put it out there. And I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. I sat there, I tried it. I would see the views, you know, like, oh yeah, these are great views. Good shit, good shit. I'd get one fucking comment that would piss me off. One comment would just piss me off so bad. I'm like, God dang it. Who the fuck is this guy? Get him out of here. That guy, you know? And it got under my skin. That doesn't happen anymore. And you guys see that, which I think is kind of funny. Like, I saw a random tweet. They didn't at me or anything like that. I just happened to see it in a random thread. And the tweet was saying something along the lines of like, they don't watch me. Like, they still don't watch me. They still don't like me as me or my content, but they like the new EO. That's what they said. They said they like the new EO. Like, they like that I don't take random shit anymore and I can laugh it off. Like, I can joke back with you, right? And it is what it is. They like that part. And I'm like, okay. You niggas like chaos. You niggas like chaos. Interesting development. Just start a podcast and have past, present, and future EO talking. I like that. Low key, high key. Where's the sword? You gave it up. You were making a power play. You said fuck EO. I don't got a mod, and then you gave it up. I didn't even know you could do that, and then you did it. It was like the second time. Actually, it's like the fourth time you've done it. It's like the fourth time you've done it. Who's getting banned? Oh, crap. Wait. I see it. You're not banning Crab. That shit's hilarious. Yo, that shit, nigga said feeling blue. That shit's OD.